Uh, okay, so Timo, we met in Oulu in Finland a few years ago. You were interviewing me for the one-to-one podcast. So now this is my payback time with Timo. So Timo Harju is an artist who works in Oulu, director, a performer of one-to-one poems, I would say, deeply engaged in one-to-one art, a form that is not seen every day, that raises also many questions about art and gives a lot of artistic ideas. You are artistic director of Keha, a project coordinator of one-to-one project. So there's a very wide range of interest in the cultural work. And so when you hear this, everything I said while we reflect on it, what is your experience with one-to-one, and from where the curiosity came to jump in this form?
Well, for me, it started with one-to-one poetry and writing one-to-one poetry portraits. And the idea for the poetry portraits, that was like my idea or thing I found, and it came from this. It actually came from this body psychotherapeutic group I was taking part when I was young, like I don't know, 20, 23, 24. I took part in this group where we did different exercises, like body psychotherapy. And then there was this one exercise where we worked in pairs, and the task was to stand and face your partner, and then kind of in turns see what is the posture of your partner, how is your pair standing, and then try to take that same posture and like stand in the same way as your pair was standing, and then like say how it feels in your body, and then you switch turns. And for me, that was like super intimate experience, quite scary, but also like it was like, for me, it was really like, wow, that actually you can really meet another person in this intimate level and really try to understand the other person through this really simple trying to stand in the same way as she is standing. And then I was at the time always, as I always have been, writing, and I was deeply into poems that moment. And then I started thinking that actually, like, I would really like to turn this experience into words somehow, like the same intimacy of somehow looking at another person and then like telling about what you see somehow. And there came the idea that what if I just write a poem? Look at another person and write a poem. And then I asked some friends to try this out with me. We were in this wooden house and we were sitting in a circle, and then in turns, always one person was the one who was watched and the others wrote. And that was like a really like a mind-blowing experience to me, and really to everyone who was taking part, like what it does to writing and how intimate it is to really to write to another person in this very moment. And then we decided that okay, maybe we should start doing this with like random people. And then we contacted this poetry week in Turku where I was living, and we did that there, and it was like a huge experience to me again, like how it forms this really magical circle around you, to you and another person. It was like really mind-blowing experience to me, how meaningful it is and how meaningful writing to another person is, to an unknown person, and how you can really, like, it was surprising like how possible it is to really write meaningful things to another person. And it felt like this is like the core of the art. Like this is definitely the main thing that's happening in art, like in any art. And somehow I felt that, okay, now I found the core of art, and this is the thing. And then we had a project and we started doing it. Turku was the cultural capital of Europe in 2011. We had a big project where we are touring prisons and care homes and different things. And I was like 1 year just writing portraits. And then there was a so big thing. Then I started doing some other projects one-to-one through writing. And then I came aware that actually there are other artists doing some one-to-one works. And then when I moved to Oulu at the end of 2012, I was a bit alone and like, where is everyone? And I would like to find some people who think the same way I do. And then I got this idea that, what if I would actually kind of found this, what if I would form a festival where I could invite artists to try this one-to-one and share. And that's how things started with me. Yeah.
It seems when I listen to you that you're still curious about one-to-one and it still inspires you.
Yeah, definitely. It's just like, it's hard to put it into words.
Yes.
Like I'm just saying, it's so meaningful, but it's kind of it's kind of like it's a miracle and it's a magic circle. That's around two people.
So Keha means circle.
Yeah, that's where the word of the name of the festival came from.
So before we proceed and dive deeper into topics connected with one-to-one art, I would like to talk about the festival that is a part of a project called Producing One-to-One Art Events and Sharing the Experiences, which you are a project coordinator of. The whole project organizes one-to-one art events in Oulu, Finland, Klanjec, Croatia, and Lisbon, Portugal. So at the moment, you're preparing the 10th version of Keha Festival that will take place in Oulu from 14th to 18th of October 2025. So I wonder what is prepared this year, who will join, what are the teams, how are the preparations going?
The preparations are going really well, although there's a lot to do, as always, with all the practical arrangements, and we will be taking all the works to Cultural House Valve, where anyone can experience them, and we are also taking them to different care institutions. And then this year we are having also on the top of our program where people can come and experience one-to-one art. We will have one-to-one art symposium, and that's quite exciting. We will have workshops and talks, and I would really like people to join there also remotely, like people who can't come to Finland, who are not living in Finland. We will have everything will happen in English, sometimes also in Finnish, in two languages. But the idea is that you can really take part even if you don't speak Finnish. So and the remote participation will be possible. So I'm a bit really excited that will we get anyone from outside Finland to take part remotely. So that's kind of the exciting part.
Yeah, it's good that somehow there will be a possibility to connect with the other artists and the people who are interested in one-to-one somehow to
Yes, there will be talks about this, and then there will be one remote workshop you can take part online, and we are trying to make some sort of also this kind of a meeting room for people if they want to share. Like there will be a chance for people to meet and talk also freely about their interests here in Finland. But so we will try to make some sort of a meaningful meeting room, one slot of like a meeting room there
And
in
how
the afternoon where people can share and exchange ideas if they take part remotely. So that's actually what I've been thinking about.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And how many artists will join this year?
This year, yeah, let's go to the core. And the core is always like the one-to-one art and the program. So we will be having 11 pieces. Some of them have 2 or 3 artists, but 11 pieces. Most will be with only one artist. And so 11 really really interesting pieces. Plus also the students of creative writing here in Oulu, like the young students, they are from 15 to 18 or 19. So a group of this local creative writing school will come and join us and write some one-to-one poetry. So there will be that also happening here. And then 11 works, which is the main thing. And this year, our theme was traveling and travel. And when we were making up the program, it turned out that what we are talking about is somehow the inner travels. Like somehow the pieces we got or the pieces we liked somehow dealt with really going like deep to your somehow well, different like memories and somehow even painful memories or also like your own enjoyment and but really like somehow traveling inside you. That is what really many pieces deal with.
Great.
There will be also like travels to somehow different extremes. Like we have this a piece, The Hinterlands, by British group Pele Ensemble, directed by Rebecca Evans. It's a piece of augmented reality where you face different, how do you pronounce the word, extramobiles? All these little bacteria and creatures that might live in the, I don't know, at the bottom of the sea or where you have volcanoes, those really kind of creatures that really are alive and really live at the edge of of the area where you can like still live. And it's you have dance, the audience will wear a headset and you can move a bit and see around. You see it's augmented reality, so you actually see the space where you are, but you also see the dancers, and on top of dancers you will see this, how the dancers are transformed into these different creatures. And so there will be travels like that, but there will also be hypnotic work, Aapo Nikkanen, joy machines, where Aapo is also does hypnotherapy and is also an artist, and this is really art. But in this work, the audience is gently taken into this state where you're really focused, and then you encounter this machine, and if you and you are made or you are somehow guided to feel that this machine can create happiness for you, and then you can try and really experience happiness through this machine. And it's kind of also it's really critical about or the work raises thoughts about what is happiness and what happens to us if we give it to different machines. But it's like really work inside you, and it's really concentrating. But they're like works I'm really curious about. Evanina Lampitz's work inside where you it's like a haunted house. It's a object theater, but it's haunted house. It's kind of a dream where the audience can put some of your like own memories or people you know there, and then things start happening in the show. So it's a really we have love stories. Yeah, it's really like really kind of deep traveling. Yeah, inside himself, herself, themselves somehow, and that way I'm really happy about the program. It feels like really adventurous and somehow like I don't know, free somehow. Like it's really cool program, I think.
So one aspect of the festival is taking the art projects to community. The whole festival is also built around it, bringing art pieces to elderly people, to young people in the homes. So tell us something about this, because this is very interesting to somehow pull the art pieces from the festival center and go where people in need can see it, and how does it work and what does it do to people?
Yeah, well, as I told, how things started for me was writing these portraits, and at a really early stage, we went to hospitals and jails and other like institutions to write poems for people, and that was also like deeply meaningful for me because those people like they were really fragile and they needed to be taken care of, so they couldn't live anywhere else, or they were like prisons, like in jail, and somehow doing art with them was really meaningful because if we hadn't done it, no one would have. Like they are people who just like can't easily come and experience art that is done elsewhere. So it feels really important to actually take art to them. And also one-to-one art really suits working with vulnerable people really well, because if you have an old person who's lying in a bed and maybe doesn't talk anymore at all and has lost the words, then maybe like dancing beside the bed and taking her hand, and that might be the way to reach her and maybe the only way to reach her. And so this is why people do quite a lot of one-to-one art in care institutions, at least in Finland, especially the dancers, like the contemporary dancers, they do quite a lot in Finland, especially with the elderly, but also with the different groups. And well, also other art forms too, and often one-to-one art is the form. So yeah, it felt really like natural also to take the Keha one-to-one works to institutions because of that. And we feel that we have some experience on that. So we can also take artists who haven't been in care institutions before to work there. So maybe we really hope that we can like open this possibility for artists who maybe haven't done it before, and then maybe find out that maybe it's something they would like to do in the future. And because always at Keha Festival we have artists who come from like I don't know, more like live art scene, where they usually work at some contemporary art festivals, where the audience might be really like people who go to these kind of strange art festivals quite often, and they encounter pieces like this often, and artists are used to audience like this, but then they go to a care institution where you have old people or young people, 15-year-old people, 16-year-old people who have never ever experienced anything like this. So it can be also really meaningful for artists too to have this experience. So we will be taking Keha Works to foster care home where you have young people from 14 to 18 who have a really heavy background. They have been often they have been living in many different foster families, and it has never worked out. There's typically lots of there's like heavy background violence and drugs and lots of like heavy background, and now they're at Muhos or Haukipudas, these really small places near Oulu, and but many young people, they have never encountered lots of contemporary art in general, and definitely not one-to-one art, but it's really nice to take works there. Then we will be taking works to Ensian Turvakoti, which is a place for the victims of domestic violence, where you might have parents, mothers, children, and doing art with them. And then the third place offers things to do and peer support for people with some mental challenges who are really like living on their own, but need and want some peer support. So it's a place like that where we will be taking some works there.
The experience of the one-to-one festivals is that you can really in one day see a lot of different forms of art, a lot of different people in, I would say, short time, because the one-to-one art pieces are rarely longer than 1 hour. It's mostly 5 to 20 minutes, so you can see a lot and a lot of condensed art in one day. So just briefly, can you say what is your experience when on a one-to-one art festival, and in one day you see so many works, like 20 different artists or 11 different artists?
Well, I have personally never seen like all the 11 works in one day because I'm so busy with organizing. But of course, I've seen and experienced quite many pieces. I think often I'm kind of befuddled somehow that what is going on? Like I'm here, and then this is one person is doing this only for me, and like what have I done to kind of deserve this? It feels like really special, especially even sometimes you might have two people performing for only one. That is of course rare, but once I remember I had these two really nice artists kind of doing this scent ritual for me, and I was like just sitting there, what is going on? This is really strange. Like this, two people are doing this only for me. So it's somehow that is like it really often like gets me again and again that okay, I've been organizing this, so I have kind of deserved this, and I know this thing, but it's still like somehow surprising that what is going on? What is going on? This person is doing this only for me. So it's really nice. It's really nice.
If I was to go to one-to-one festival, and I would be kind of scared to be exposed or with one person in the room.
Well, there are pieces that are somehow like heavier that make you reflect on your own life and maybe like difficult experiences. So there are pieces like that. Yes. And I felt somehow that it's kind of a bit scary to go into the piece. I know that artist will ask a story for me, and even though I have the complete freedom to, lie or tell something that's easy for me, it's still somehow like that, okay, maybe I have to invest myself here, and it's scary. And afterwards you might be like you have to breathe a bit and think what happened. But there are more pieces that are just easy and enjoyable. And you can choose. When you go to a festival, you have to, or you should maybe just read the descriptions, and it's usually really easy to you see what is scary for you. Of course, different things are scary for different people, but only minority of the pieces are the ones where you actually are somehow exposed. Often they are like the experiences I've had. It's been like funny. It's been really enjoyable. Like many pieces are about your body. Like I will always remember this piece by Antti Tolvi, which was like a concerto for hands, where the composer and the artist was standing behind me and putting hands on my ears and then moving them and turning them and then doing some things to my head and knocking my skull and doing things. And it was just like really, it was not scary at all, but it was really like a revelation somehow that, okay, I didn't know how the soundscape can change. And it was like a composition. It was like a song that I heard through only this person manipulating me, and like there are so many nice possibilities. Like you can put sculptures on someone's hand or lap and somehow take the body into the experience in a more supportive and listening and also like intimate way than in like any other art form. So yeah.
Thank you. It's great to hear the experience and somehow to, while listening to you, see what is the purpose of art, what are the possibilities of using the art, and how it affects one or more people. And so in the end, I would love if you can present the theme of the festival.
The theme of the festival.
Yeah, who is working? So just to know the people who are sometimes in the background and
Okay. Well, there's Aino Granlund, who's she's our producer, so she does uh, most of the heavy stuff, all the practical stuff. But she also takes part in all the artistic planning and the selections of the works. Yeah, all the planning and all the content, but maybe that's a bit more of the heavy practical stuff, and I do the heavy practical stuff too, but maybe a bit more of the super nice and exciting planning. but kind of she's the producer and I'm the artist director, but she's also a bit artistic director and I'm also a bit the producer. That's how somehow like we talk about everything. So we are the two main people, but who are like mainly doing this in our end. But of course we have then Tuija Pasanen, our general manager of cultural cooperative ILME, who makes sure that everything makes sense. Then we have some really nice people helping with driving props and stuff. Anna Haaraoja is helping a lot. Some years ago, she was the main producer, but now she hasn't had time to do that anymore. So she's been but she still comes to the festival and helps during the days. And Anna-Kaisa Kettunen will also be helping. And then I have to mention this year, Satu Hakamäki, who's been like an artist at Keha for many years. And this year she is not, but she contacted us that she would like to be in the audience this year and travel to Oulu. But when she's coming, she could also like do some like whatever, help with us a few days. So there will be some people. And of course, when I was talking about artistic planning, now it's different when we have one-to-one art project, because now like all the content, the core, the works and the program was really made together with me and Aino Keha, and then you, Jerko and Dunja from the House Collective, and then Anna and David from Gato Escaldado in Portugal. So really, we all the pieces that were selected have been subject of really long talk by 6 people. So yeah,
Great.
and it's been really super interesting.
Wonderful. So there were how many? 200 something pieces that applied this year for both festivals?
287,
Yeah.
maybe 89, something like that. 280 something. Yeah.
Great.
So quite many pieces.
So wonderful. So I think we came to the end of our talk, and
Great.
I'm super happy to see the festival, and I hope that all the people who listen to the podcast will come and continue listening to the podcast. We'll be talking to some residents of the one-to-one residency in Klanjec, and then in October with the artists, so we can present them and enjoy our time together. So thank you very much, Timo, for this talk.
Thank you, Jerko.